Hey up everyone, what's going on? And welcome back to Sheffield United, where you join me on the final day of the Premier League season. Everyone plays at the same time, of course. We drew with Wolves away in the only other match we played since the FA Cup final. So yeah, 1-1 away from home. Mousset scored in the 40th second. Yep, and then they got an equaliser in the first half, which was a mad scramble. Again, we had the better of the game, but we'll take a point away from the Molyneux. It's not the end of the world. Doesn't matter in any way, shape or form, realistically. Arsenal won their game against Fulham, so they have gone ahead of us in the table for the time being. Bear in mind that we need to win and they need to lose for us to leapfrog them again. Don't think that's happening. They're playing Burnley, who are admittedly fighting for survival. Manchester United can't win the title, but they are at Newcastle, so tough games for both of those teams on that fringe. Leeds, of course, in danger as well. They're away at Southampton, who are fighting for 7th, so it's not an easy game there either. Everton on 35 points, completely overlooked that one actually as well. They're in danger too. They are home to Leicester, who are already down. So Everton, realistically, with the easiest game of the lot, we would expect them to stay up. But between Newcastle, Burnley and Leeds, one are going down. We'll pay attention to the bottom end of that table. We'll pay attention to who ends up 7th as well, because Southampton currently on 54 points. Brighton, same, worst goal difference. Fulham on 51, could nick in there. Unlikely. They are playing Tottenham, though, who have been obviously terrible, like they are in every single game. Brighton are playing Liverpool. That's going to be a tough one for them to win, because Liverpool need to do this, because the title's not sealed yet either. Man City are at home to West Brom. You'd presume Man City to get 3 points there. Chelsea away at Aston Villa. Not super easy either. Comparatively, Chelsea and Liverpool in similar situations, away at teams in that sort of upper half. Meanwhile, on this final day, we have an absolute nothing match against West Ham. 6th or 5th doesn't affect us other than prize money. West Ham already down. So we've got realistically nothing to play for except for statistics. Mousset, I don't think is anywhere near Golden Boot, but I don't think any of our players are anywhere near the top of any of those charts. So realistically, this is just a showcase match for you guys, just to have a match in the episode. I can always, of course, pause at any moments and just talk about things, talk about the way the team plays. John Fleck got injured against Wolves. Sander Burge is out as well, midweek. That's not helpful. I think they're probably better the other way around. Yes, they are. Ben Osborne comes into the midfield. John Fleck. Jan Kabay makes the bench just because I am out of players. Ender Stevens back in for the final game. Adam Smith back in for the final game. I did rotate a little bit midweek just because we were a little tired from that extra time FA Cup final. Spoilers if you've not seen it. Watch it now. I'll give my players the nod in this final game. Brewster and Evian and Vavro back in for John Egan, do I put Billy Sharp on the bench for this last one? Do I do that? Do I? Yeah, go on then. Why not? Why not? It matters nothing. Let's get Billy Sharp another game. Don't know if he's got any intentions to retire or anything. I have sent him on another coaching course. I intend to have him around. Long-term plan. Seriously thinking about taking a role as an assistant manager? I mean, think bigger, Billy. Think bigger. Realistically, he's actually not terrible. Great penalty taking, great mental, still 15 finishing. Yeah, the pace is gone, the stamina's gone a little bit, the agility's gone, but the rest of it's still quite good. He'd be very good, actually, for anyone in the Championship or League One, depending on how far he's willing to go down. He would be very good capture for any of them lot. But I'm kind of hoping he retires at the end of this year so I can get him as a staff immediately. Doesn't look like Big Phil's going to. Big Phil has had offers from clubs abroad at the end of his contract, so despite the fact that Phil is a lot older, does feel like he is going to still continue playing somewhere in the world. Did send him on a coaching course as well in the hope that we could keep Jagielka around as well. Doesn't look like it's going to be a thing. Now, that is the West Ham team. It's quite a good team, realistically, for a side that's going down. Couple of tasty names in there. I'm looking at you, Declan Rice. I'm looking at Issa Diop. Probably players with a bit of potential. Jared Bowen, of course, an option. English. Few names in this side that I am definitely... Oh, I just did a team talk about fans and it actually had a reaction. FM21, you do surprise me. It is the final game of the year. We've sort of got ourselves a system, although this game has been incredibly boring so far. So it does turn out the 43 shots we had against Leeds was a bit of a fluke. We did have the better of it against Wolves, but it wasn't indicative of an engine update or anything like that. It was just how we played on the day. And of course the fact it went to 120 minutes. Well, that was a thrilling first half. Well, it clearly heard me threaten to pause it every now and then and decided that we were going to have no highlights whatsoever. I'm far from pleased. I'm far from pleased by what I've seen from this team. By which I mean, I've not seen anything from this team. Oh, we've got an XG of 1 now. We clearly had a very good shot that we didn't see. At last, a long throw. Headed clear. They are They fixed the long throws, I feel like. I feel like we don't get on the end of long throws anymore. I might look into the set-piece tactics just in case it's something in there that's gone a little bit awry with FM21. Bear in mind, it was the same set pieces that came with the formation from York, and we know how good they were with players like Azata and that in our York side, so whether or not it's the players or if it's the formation, that's the problem. Or oh dear, Benoit's had an absolute mare there. Ramsdale does well though. Yeah, whether it's the players not being as good as the players I had in the York side towards the end of the York save, or if it's just something that's gone wrong with importing it into this year's game, or if it's something in this year's game that's a little bit different that requires adjustments, then we'll see. But why have I only got 2 tablet things is really annoying me. That's got to be a bug of some kind, because obviously my screen has not changed, and obviously you've seen that. I've had 3 panels before. This has got to 75 minutes. I've done nothing. Screw it. Billy Sharp on for Ollie McBurney, because why the heck not? Johan Kabay on for Norwood. And 15 minutes to go. Yes, on it. I'll make all 3. I don't know why Ender Stevens is so tired. I don't really have anyone to fill in. I suppose I could bring Osborne back and then bring in Basham in the midfield. Attacking in demand a little bit more. See if we get anything out of this. There's been 5 shots on target the entire game. What a way to end the season. What a way to end that season. With a 0-0. Clearly both sides knew that genuinely didn't matter. This shot, I'm very surprised we didn't see this shot. Or shot and rebound, seemingly. I feel like something's gone wrong with the algorithm. I really feel like something's gone wrong with the highlight algorithm with this update. Because I feel like key highlights isn't showing enough, and extended obviously shows too much, realistically, for a YouTube series like this. But there we are. We received 29 million for achieving 6th. Arsenal didn't win. Arsenal lost. Oh god, I didn't even pay attention to that. Arsenal did lose in the end, but oh well. So Leeds went down. Newcastle beat Man United. Right, as a supporter of Newcastle, that pleases me. As a person who was considering trying to get Alan Saint-Maximin in, that annoys me. Of course, Burnley won as well, so that sent Leeds down. Oh, what a shame for Leeds. Leeds 3-2 as well. Leicester beat Everton on the final day, because of course they did. If Leeds had just got a third there, or hadn't let in the third, it would have been Everton going down, and just think of all the players we could have poached from them. Project Dominic Calvert-Lewin would definitely have been on the cards then. Project Dominic Calvert-Lewin is still on the cards, I'm not going to lie, but it would have been a lot easier to prize him away from a championship Everton. Ancelotti has left Everton, by the way. He was sacked actually. I thought he just went to another club. Oh, I thought he left a club earlier in the year. I'm just going crazy. They sacked him very recently. Who am I getting confused with? It might have been Bielsa who moved rather than got sacked. That's what I'm thinking of. It was Bielsa in the January who moved somewhere else. Oh god, I didn't even look at the top of the table. Brighton beat Liverpool on the final day. Chelsea ended up champions. To be honest, big teams making a hash of it in general. Man City squeaking past West Brom. Liverpool losing to Brighton. Arsenal losing to Burnley. Man United losing to Newcastle. Ironically, on the final day, Tottenham won. But it was only Chelsea otherwise that won out of this top 5. Oh, Man City did win, of course, but not easily at home to West Brom. So Chelsea champions. I feel like I've not actually seen that in this year's game. It's been pretty much Liverpool and Man United. Not even Man City. I'm so used with Sterling Albion it being about 3 weeks later. But I'm going to presume our end of season stuff comes through tomorrow. This is the first time I've seen this, of course, as well. The Sheffield United end of season review. It won't be the last time you see this either. As I said in previous videos, I will be continuing Sheffield United beyond this. So the new arrivals, you get to see how the new arrivals are done on one screen. This is fantastic. I love this. This makes my life so much easier at the end of the year. Talking about the people we brought in, Benoit. It even orders them in terms of average rating. Oh, you've done my job for me. But Benoit Badiashile, oh, so good. So good. Yes, it does have a minimum release fee of 90 million. Favreau, also excellent. Gagliardini, great as well. 6.9, just solid. Out of the year, Montiel, pretty good. The only one I would probably consider getting back. Alan Smith, decent. The wingers, not so great, let's be real. Evian did kick on at the end of the year, so the 6.75. The fact he got up to a 6.75 is quite good. Shows how good the end of the year was. Johan combined, barely played, but 6.78. And Nakajima we don't really talk about. One wonder goal, got third in the goal of the month. Of that month. That's about it. That's all he did. And scored a bounty in the FA Cup final, of course, in the knockout. But how it unfolded, expectation from the board, mid-table, final position, 6th, average home attendance, pretty damn good. 13 goals in the Premier League for Muset. I think he had 20 in total. And we have an A+ for the season. And you can click on different things here. Minimum expectation, reached 5th round, winner. 5 goals in that. There's our run. I like the fact it shows us our run, actually, as well. Shrewsbury, Rotherham, Wolves, Liverpool, Fulham, and Leeds. We have a penalty shootout against Wolves as well. Forgot about that. Definitely had penalty shootouts against Leeds and Tottenham Hotspur in the Carabao before we lost ours against West Brom. And then the moments to remember, the 6-1 win over Newcastle, which thankfully didn't send them down in the end. At that point, Newcastle were actually in the top 6. How their season collapsed. The match to remember, 3-0 away at Tottenham though, and the goal of the season was Ben Osborne's free kick against Arsenal, which of course you saw. And Nakajima's goal was better in my opinion. Arguable. Actually, in terms of just the craft of the goal I showed you from Anthony Gordon's back heel to Mousset against Liverpool, or the match before that, that is my goal of the season in my opinion, just because of the craft of the goal. But Nakajima's goal too, is up there. No new deals, fine, but this will obviously go up a little bit now that we're in Europe next year. Sponsorship, broadcast revenue, a lot of broadcast revenue of course. Top shirts are Burge, Gagliardini, Mousset, Fleck, surprisingly, McBurney. And how we lined up in general, our best 11, Ramsdale, Stevens, Egan. Sorry, I mean, we literally just saw that Vavro had a better average rating for the season. Badiashile, Bogle on the right, Norwood and Osborne in the middle. What? We just saw Gagliardini at a 6.9. How is he not in there? Never mind. Nakajima? How is Nakajima on the left? Burge and Evian? How is Evian on the right? This is broken, clearly. Mousset up front, fine. I played Brewster more times on the left than I did Nakajima, and I played Montiel probably more than I played Evian in the end, and with a better average rating. This is clearly nonsense. So because it's the first season, obviously everyone is a record breaker. Badiashile did pick up a yellow card basically every match though. But 8 player of the matches in the end, 16 clean sheets from Ramsdale, who is way overrated in the game. Ender Stevens, 7 assists, 20 goals for Mousset. Fans player of the season is Ben Osborne. No longer a top 3 on that, which is a bit, But yeah, young player and signing of the season, Benoit, as you might expect, and then top goal scorers in the competitions. 7 assists for Montiel, so actually, Montiel had 7 assists as well. English players, young player of the year for Benoit Badiashile. And history in the making. Don't know why I showed us a semi-final here rather than the final, but never mind. FA Cup win. Club Vision 4 next year. LifeA still says make the most of set pieces. I am going to have to work out how to do that. But mid-table next year and reach second knockout round minimum. I feel like they contradict each other a little bit. I said mid-table, so that's what I'll go for here. Oh, there's way less options now. I'm actually going to say top half. I did that more as a test to see if that would be overachieving in their opinion. And it is. Knockout stages. I think that's achievable. Lovely. That's actually new, I think. Talking about competitions. Something about promises was there at the end of that meeting. I don't know what that was about. But they were disappointed I didn't make any promises for next season. No, I'd rather not go to... actually, just go to China. Oh, I'm tempted by America, actually. Let's go to America. Let's build our profile in America. Congratulate Badiashile on that award. See if there's anything else for an extra day. Ampadu's going to the Euros despite barely playing. And I think that's basically it for the season now. There might be more. I will make sure for next time out, I will get my FM20 end of season stats page for you guys, but we'll just use this overall stats page that's already in the game for this particular year. We can see immediately if we go by average rating, Jagielka's one appearance in an absolute drubbing of Shrewsbury, puts him top, but Badiashile in terms of players that actually care about, top of that. Ampadu in the matches he played, but were admittedly cup matches for the most part. Vavro, 7.18. Why was it 24 appearances, 24 starts, 7.18. I know John Egan had 28 appearances, but why was he in the 11? That's why I don't understand. The ones I'm interested by, of course, are Gagliardini, who had 31 starts, should have been on that. So Gagliardini had 2 more starts, but Norwood had 14 sub-appearances. And what if that factored into his appearance in the end of season 11? But Montiel had 22 starts and 12 subs. Evian had 27 and 7. Can't see why Montiel wasn't there ahead of Evian. Cannot see that at all. Brewster had 22 starts with 10 substitute appearances. Nakajima had 18 starts with 5 subs. Cannot see why Brewster wasn't put in on that left-hand side. Something clearly wrong with that best 11. But these are the lads I'm particularly happy with. At the top there, 20 goals for Mousset. Yeah, 20 goals for Mousset, 9 for Ryan Brewster, 8 for Evian in the end. Picked himself up. He actually scored 8 goals from an XG of 4, so that's quite impressive. The fact he only got into a position where he could only score 4 goals on average, looking a little bit more from your winger there, aren't you? But Mousset did score 20 goals from an XG of 16, so slightly above average. McBurney under par, 3 from 5. McBurney is a player with value, gone up of course now, 28 million. Half a star more in his potential apparently. Interesting player for potentially selling. I like him, but of course there's this lad Antoine Hackford as well in the R under 18s. He has potential. We'll see what he does over the next year or so, but he is developing. Yeah, in terms of value in the squad, I feel like Bernie is in a bit of danger here, perhaps. I mean, I don't think I'm going to actively sell him, but if people get interested in Ollie McBurney, I might take them up on the interest, because a 3-star player worth 28 million, when you got players like Norwood who are 3.5 according to this, worth less. Ben Osborne worth 18 again. I like the lad. He's very good. He's very solid. Very utility man. But and I'll be completely honest. 2.5-star Ryan Brewster might get to 4-star. The fact he's on 40k a week, Ryan Brewster. If someone gets interested, don't really feel like I'm going to actively look into selling anyone. You know, players like Jack Robertson, maybe players whose contracts are up in 2022. Players like McGoldrick, Basham, Robinson. These sort of fringe players who don't really play all that much, with a little bit of value and 3 stars, they're in a danger for being sold. But my ideas first and foremost for next year. Wait, what? You can't just put players in from this section anymore. I think that's broken. Ramsdale, fine. Central defenders are obviously fine. Benoit and Vavro/Egan will remain there. All the way around, of course. At right back, we do have Casera coming in. But of course, we do have 2 players who can play there anyway. Left back will probably remain to be Ender Stevens. I now realise that's going to get in the way. Probably shouldn't have also written it in blue. Hard to read. There we are. That's a little bit better. So Casera coming in at right back. Now, Jorrit Hendricks is an interesting one, because Jorrit Hendricks will be used when we play more defensively. That will allow us to keep Gagliardini and Burge in that midfield, 2 in front of him. So Jorrit Hendricks is going there. We also do have Ugarte coming in as well. Player that you might be familiar with this year's game. He seems to be quite popular in general. Same with Palacios in the attacking midfielder centre role, which is part of the reason why McBurney's in danger. Now, this will get changed to an AP, but we do have Palacios coming in. I think I showed you all these players in January when I made the deals. So we do have Palacios coming in there. So it's Palacios or Hendricks, basically. I can't remember if it's spelled Hendricks or not. And then we do have a player called Gonzalez coming in on the right-hand side. But realistically, the box-to-box will remain Gagliardini, and Burge will remain on the DLP side of things. Now, the left wing, I don't think we have anyone coming in on the left-hand side. So for the time being, Brewster remains there and Mousset remains up front. However, when it comes to getting new players in, these 2 positions remain certainly gettable. Obviously, right back, we've still got Adam Smith. We've still got Bogle as backup. I think a backup here that's better is going to be something that's talked about. We've got plenty of players who can play centrally. Of course, we've still got Evian as backup here, and Bogle, Smith as backup here. And of course, we've still got Egan as backup in central defence. Backup goalkeepers are fine as well. We've got plenty of those. They're still in contract. But other players who can play centrally, maybe. I mean, you've got Burge can move in there. McBurney can play in there currently. I think a striker, certainly. A better striker than Mousset, perhaps. He did get 20 goals this year, but he is 3 stars. He doesn't have a lot more potential. So certainly a young striker with a little bit of potential, maybe, or even an established striker that's already better. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is an option, of course. Everton, Paul might want to look into being in a European side. The teams that have been relegated have options. Jared Bowen is an option as well. I don't know if he can play both sides. English player. Leicester, of course, just got relegated as well. Burnley, Dwight McNeil from Burnley. I know he plays on the left. Just trying to think in terms of Leicester's team, where those key players are and where they would fit into the gaps that we've got. A player like James Maddison could fight with Palacios for that AMC. Just have 2 straight-up AMC players in that central position, perhaps. Can't remember if James Justin is left or right back. I don't know how well rated he is in this year's game. I know he's thought of quite highly in the real world in general. But that's the kind of situation for next year. If you can read my handwriting, well done, first and foremost. But I will work through this transfer window and I will see you on the other side. So until then, from 6th place Europa League Sheffield United with an FA Cup in the bag, until next time, ta-ra.